we are asked to determine the value of x in log x squared minus 6x base 2 is equals to 3 plus log 1 minus x base 2. Let me start by saying this. We cannot proceed to solve this question until we put this 3 in log. You understand? This 3 that we have here, we cannot solve this question. We cannot solve for the value of x without putting this 3 in log. You understand? Because this is a whole number. Now, don't forget, from the basic rules of logarithm, the log of a number to its base will be equal to what? 1. Do you understand? Peradventure, if you missed the class on logarithm, if you missed the class on logarithm, you can check the description of this video. You're going to see the various laws of logarithm. One of the law is that if we log a number to the same base, the answer is equals to 1. You understand? So, if I have something like log a raised to the power of 2 base a, this will be equals to 2 multiplied by log a base a, which is equals to what? 2. Because log a base a will be what? 1. Do you understand? Maybe you didn't understand. Let me put it like this. 2 multiplied by 1 is equals to what? 2. You understand? The log of a number to its base is what? 1. Now we are going to apply the same in this place. We are going to apply the same law to this theory. You understand? Okay, for this I'm going to have log x squared minus 6x base 2 is equals to, now, okay, I want you to pay attention, okay? So I can write this theory as log. Now, because the base that I have in this question is 2, you understand? The base that I have in this question is 2. So I'm going to log this 3 to base 2. Are you paying attention? So I'm going to have log 2 base 2 raised to the power of 3 will be equals to what? 3 log 2 base 2, which is equals to 3 multiplied by what? 1, which is equals to what? 3. You understand? These are the basic rules of logarithm, okay? Do you understand? So for this, I'm going to have log 2 base 2 raised to the power of 3 plus log 1 minus x base 2. You understand? Now, I have put all the terms in this question in logarithmic form. Now we can easily solve this. You understand? We just have to apply the basic rules of logarithm. Now, let us start from the left hand side of this equation. The right hand side now. So I'm still going to have log x squared minus 6x base 2 is equals to log. Now, remember that from the basic rules of logarithm, if you have an additional sign between our log, okay, let me quickly write it. Log a plus log b is equals to log ab. This is one of the basic rules of logarithm, the additional law. Okay, so for this I'm going to have log 2 into brackets 2 raised to the power of 3 multiplied by 1 minus x. Do you understand how I got this? It's very simple, okay? You know, the sign between this log and this log is what? Additional sign. And every time we are the sum of a log is the product of that log. That's the law that I use. Are you paying attention? The sum of a log, that is when we have the sign between two log is additional sign. We're going to take the product of that log. Are you paying attention? So I take the product of 2 raised to the power of 3 and 1 minus x. Do you understand? Okay, let us proceed. For this, I'm going to have log x squared minus 6x base 2 is equals to log base 2, okay? 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. So I'm going to have 8. Please pay attention. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Multiplied by 1 minus x. Okay? For this, I'm going to have log base 2 x squared minus 6x is equals to log base 2. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 minus 8x. Do you understand to this point? Okay, now I want you to pay attention. There is another law that says this log can cancel this log. I'm going to have x raised to the power of 2 minus 6x is equals to 8 minus 8x. Do you understand how I got this? This log can cancel this log, okay? So x squared minus 6x is equals to 8 minus 8x. Okay, having gotten to this point, we can move all the values that is here, we can move it to the left hand side of the equation. Do you understand? Now, if I may ask you, what kind of equation is this? This is a quadratic equation because the power, the highest power of x here is what? 2. You understand? So for this, I'm going to have x squared minus 6x. If this 8 comes to the left hand side of the equation, I'm going to have negative 8. If this negative 8x comes to the left hand side of the equation, I'm going to have positive 8x. All this will be equal to what? 0. Do you understand? Now, x squared minus 6x plus 8x, that will give me positive 2x. So I'm going to have plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Now, we are going to solve for the value of x quadratically. You understand? Okay? I'm very sure you remember how to solve quadratic equation. We can solve this using three methods. Either completing the square, the formula method, or the factorization method. But for the sake of our understanding, you can use any of the methods. You are still going to arrive at the same answer. Let's make use of general formula. You know, the general formula of quadratic equation is equals to x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'm very sure you remember this formula very well. Okay? Now, let me quickly tell us the parameters that we have in the formula. X is the unknown that we want to determine in our quadratic equation. B is the coefficient of the x. Coefficient of x is what we call b. Are you paying attention? B is the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x in this quadratic equation is what? 2. So b is equals to 2. Okay? Now, a is the coefficient of x squared. Okay? A is the coefficient of x squared. This is x squared. The coefficient of x squared here is what? 1. So a is equals to 1. And c is the constant term. Please pay attention. C is the constant term in the quadratic equation. And the constant term in this quadratic equation is what? Negative 8. It is not 8. Oh, you have to pay attention to the sign. Okay? The constant term in this quadratic equation is negative 8. So c is equals to negative 8. Okay? We can easily determine the value of x by substituting the value of a, b, and c into this quadratic formula. You understand? Okay? So I'm going to have x is equals to minus b. B is what? 2. So I'm going to have negative 2 plus or minus square root of b squared. 2 squared minus 4 into bracket a. A is 1. So I'm going to have 1 multiplied by c, which is c is negative 8 all over 2a. A is what? 1. So I'm going to have 1. So by solving this, you can easily determine the value of x. Okay? For this, I'm going to have x is equals to minus 2 plus or minus square root of 2 square is 4. So I'm going to have 4 minus 4 multiplied by minus 8. Because negative 8 times 1 is what? Negative 8. All over 2. As 2 times 1 is 2. You understand? So I'm going to have x is equals to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus, okay, let us take the product of negative 4 and 8. Negative 4 and negative 8. Negative 4 times negative 8 is what? Plus 32. You understand? When we take the product of a negative number and a negative number, we're going to have a positive number. You understand? So negative 4 times negative 8 will give us what? Positive 32. So I'm going to have plus 32 all over 2. For this, I'm going to have x is equals to negative 2 plus or minus square root of 36. Because 4 plus 32 will give me what? 36 all over 2. Okay? For this, I'm going to have x is equals to negative 2 plus square root of 36 all over 2. Now, from this point, I'm going to separate the sign. Okay? I'm going to separate the sign. I will have plus at one side and negative number, a negative at another side. So I'm going to have or negative 2 minus square root of 36 all over 2. Do you understand? Look at this. I have plus or minus here. So I make the plus, I separate it from the negative sign. You understand? You know, in quadratic equation, because the power of x there is what? 2. So therefore, I'm going to have 2 answer. Are you paying attention? I'm going to have 2 value of x because the power here is what? 2. Are you paying attention? So for this, I'm going to have x is equals to negative 2 plus 6 all over 2, or negative 2 minus 6 all over 2. Do you understand? The square root of 36 is 6. 6 times 6 will give us what? 36. So x will be equals to negative 2 plus 6 is what? 4. So I'm going to have 4 over 2, or negative 8 all over 2. I'm very sure you understood how I got this. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. Negative 2, negative 6, that will give us negative 8. So for this, I'm going to have x is equals to 2 or negative 4. These are the values of x that we are asked to determine in the equation, okay? So the value of x in this logarithmic equation is either 2 or negative 4. That is the solution to that question, okay?
To watch the next class, kindly check the description of this video. You are going to see a link there. Click on that link, or you should check the playlist on this channel, okay? See you in the next class.